What's up, everybody? It's your boy Showtime Doctor. Wanted to show you guys this game, another Eden. I'm playing it on the sly right now. It's a really good game for that, actually. Always had a huge love for Chrono Trigger, my favorite SNES game to this day, and a lot of the same, like the music, and among other programmers and stuff, character design is from that team. So, super awesome game. So let's get into it here. So before I get into the little nitty gritty of the game, I want to show you guys what I'm working with. So this is my main squad right now. I switch in characters as I see fit. Usually Annabelle goes for someone else. Well, anyways, I should actually explain what these characters do. So they've had the Persona 5 collab, and it's a collab that's always on. So 100% of the time the collabs go on, so you can still start the game, get to the appropriate level and go do that and get yourself Joker and Morgana. So cool thing about Joker and Morgana is basically really good healer, has a lot of abilities, also does a little bit of wind damage that's amped if the target is poisoned. And to be perfectly honest here, this character is actually super strong. Not quite top tier, but still like right there as far as the role. As you can see there, you got the restore all party members' HP by 1,000. A lot of healers can't do that right away. And wind attacks, scales really good with wind. I use the Mashu Kunda usually just because you want to gimp the enemy as much as possible. So really awesome unit here. And then the cool part is, if you have Morgana in your team and you tag in Joker, the 2 slots on the right are characters you can tag in during the battle. And the other characters go out and they recover their HP and their mana a little bit. So that's kind of how the tactical combat works. We'll do a battle later on. But Joker's really cool. You warp Joker in the Morgana spot, and he comes in and does like a big AoE. It's pretty awesome stuff. So the Phantom Thief here does pretty awesome damage. He's a little bit lesser tier as far as his role versus Morgan, but still like super good. And especially for your farming teams, having a good Joker is actually really awesome. So cool thing about Joker, he uses his gun a lot. So his 1 will get him a guaranteed critical strike when he has bullets, but bullets are something you have to charge up. Tagging in gets you a bunch of them. And then, like it says there, he has piercing attacks. He can put sleep on. He has a pretty good debuff for melee and has a self buff as well as some fire damage. Pretty awesome unit there. And then the rest of the units, I won't go into too long form detail on them, but Annabelle, she's basically a paladin. Has really good AoE stuff going on. Decent damage, not the best. A lot of people hate on her, but I actually think she's pretty good. Nagi's probably my best DPSer right now, just ridiculous. She does earth damage. She has a debuff pain, which is basically a bleed. Tsubame, she's awesome damage as well. Not quite to Nagi's level yet, but that might just be a gearing thing. She can lower earth resistance, which is really good with Nagi. That's why I combo them together a lot, especially on physical mobs that take more physical damage. And just overall, she's a good unit as well. And then Mariel, that's the dream right there if you're starting this game. You want to try to get her, because she can be... I'll actually go into her. She reduces damage like crazy. It's insane. Like, she can push your cap, is part of the terminology everyone uses. So Aurora Force right there at the bottom. Type resistance for all party members plus 50%. So essentially you're erasing half the damage that you're about to take from pretty much everything in the game. It gets pretty dumb. She also has a regen and she can cure most status effects, among other things. And then when you're farming with her, you can turn her into a little single target magic caster there. She's just an awesome unit. So, if you're gonna re-roll, that's definitely the character to do it, or if they have like a banner for her later on, that'll be some awesome stuff. Now, I'll show you guys who else I got outside of that. Shani, she lowers water resistance, which is really good for Mighty, because Mighty does water damage as a magic caster. Not quite top tier either one, but Mighty's actually pretty high up tier. Yuna is deceptively good. She's one of the people that puts up this mega poison. She has a couple healing things, but the Mega Poison pairs well with Morgana, like I said, where Morgana's wind attacks do extra damage when something is poisoned. And then everyone else I have back here, mostly these are story characters. The story characters are actually pretty good. Especially Amy, actually. Amy's actually pretty good, so is Aldo. And then Cyrus is a throwback to Frog, if you guys remember from Chrono Trigger. CL, if you're going to get a... at the beginning, when you start your account, you get a 4-star selector. CL's actually really good for that. Bard does some range damage and also earth attacks, among other things. So pretty good stuff. And everyone else is just kind of there right now, so... Still have their uses, and it's still good to have them just for their character quest, so you can unlock some extra stuff. But that's pretty much most of what I work at. The characters that I mentioned, that's most of the stuff I actually do. Now, this place right here, slight spoilers, it's kind of like the, what was that called in Chrono Trigger? Like the end of time or whatever. The respite of time. Oh yeah, one thing to note too, inns in this game, or anything where you can get food, make sure you always stay at an inn in this game, because not only do you usually get to do it for free, but they will give you a piece of food, whether it's like the town specialty, or in the case of this tree, it's a fruit, and you can use that fruit in a dungeon, because most dungeons don't have rest spots, and you can use that and it restores all HP and SP, so it's pretty good for farming stuff. So, and there's the bar. Kind of some interesting characters. Now, this door right here, if you guys haven't gotten here yet, this is actually where a good majority of the farming is done in the game. So what happens is, as you go through the maps and all the different zones, it's going to, eventually once you unlock this, get to the point where you can run hard and very hard versions of these maps. So what these do, these help you farm the materials that you need to upgrade your characters past the general stuff like leveling and your passive tree, to actually get them amazing gear and amazing armor and accessories that you can craft yourself, because you can craft stuff at the shops. So the gimmick for these, though, is... You know what, I guess we might as well just do one, so I could show you guys. Let me see, level 28, yeah, this should be fine. Water would actually be really good here, so I should probably switch out. Hold on. It takes your preset party, so I gotta actually switch some characters out. So let's see, who should I kick? Part of me wants to kick Joker and Morgan, part of me doesn't. I think it should be fine. Because the reason I would kick Joker is because Joker does fire damage. I'm about to be in a fire dungeon. So we'll put Mighty in his place, and since Joker's not there, go ahead and put Shani in. I think that should be fine. Yeah, I got 2 healers, so I'm good. Alright, so let's go do this. I'll show you guys what's going on here. Oh, rip. I could have just switched parties. Oh, well. So you get a bunch of these keys per day. They regen. I forget exactly what it is, but it's fairly slow. See the map there in the upper part of the screen. Let me actually turn this down. Okay, so what happens is you run around here. In this particular, another dungeons, these are called, only a certain subset of mobs spawn, and then eventually they're gonna stop spawning. And all that will be left is the elites and whatever treasure or items are on the map. So... I'm strong enough, I can just auto most these guys. And if you are strong enough, you generally want to do that for everything that's not elite. Because, you need to save your AP for, like, bosses, and if you're able to, farm the elites at the same time. Farming the elites is a little rough. Elites are... I'll show you one when we get to them. Oh, also, I'll give you guys... Next battle, I'll give you guys an explanation of the attack screen. Just let me search around here. So what you want to do on these maps, you definitely want to go and kill to the limit. Because every time you're killing something, you got a chance at farming, you know, whatever item that only drops in this dungeon is. And of course you want to find all the treasure too. And this is all stuff that you're going to take and make either weapons or gear with. Also guys, I should clarify, I'm taking up another Eden mantle on YouTube because apparently people don't make videos for this anymore. Which, those of you that know me or if you're new to me, I'm not necessarily about, you know, blow up, make millions of views or anything like that. I just like to cover what I'm playing with my opinion and solicit feedback and see what you guys think. So, oh that's right, I'm going to explain the screen. Okay, so at the bottom, that's your characters, obviously. You can switch out what they're going to do up here, and you can kind of like hover over, see what it does. Now, if you hit the switch button, which is over here, it's going to switch with one of the characters in the back, as you can see there. So, but I'm not going to do that right now, because I don't need to. Now, also, obviously you could run, you could just do basic. When you hit attack, that's going to do whatever actions that you do. And you can check this repeat up here, and it will repeat whatever you did in the last battle. It's useful for some battles, some for not. In the upper right is the combo meter, and the combo meter builds over time. I can use it now and get about half the effect. And what the combo meter does, it's going to bring up your character's abilities really fast, and you just got to spam click. That's why it's actually good to have whatever your ability you want to spam click in the same slot with whatever other abilities that these characters are going to use. So if you got some synergy, like if you notice here, I have Mole Technique here. So after I would use Hama Shuriken to lower Earth type resistance, if we were going to do the combo thing, Tsubami's doing Earth Blunt attack, and she's also raising the Earth attack of all party members by 30%. That can do Earth. And then likewise, she's doing Crushing Axe right here, Nagia, so it just chains together well. You always want to have like abilities on similar slots here. So same thing with like this one, when Mighty comes in, and then her Charming Dance, it lowers water resistance over here. And then she does Splash Sword, which does a water resistance thing, and then same thing with Mighty, who's out right now. He actually does, he has his best damage attack on his one as well. So that's the way that you want to do your combos, guys. A little tip I didn't actually learn until probably a week playing. So you see these little arrows here, that just means that there's elites wandering. This guy I should actually crush. If it's a red arrow, in general, they're going to stomp you unless you have some really good synergy and really good mitigation. Like, if you counter them, like you have strong water attack or whatever, then you'll be fine. But so anyways, I'll actually go out on this guy. So let me actually... I'll lower his water resistance a couple times. We'll get some of the damage reduction up. And then we'll go to town. Go ahead and lower earth resistance. Now, every elite in the game, they usually have at least one move that's like AoE death. Even this guy's probably not going to kill these characters, but he can still do significant damage to them, so I do have to watch that no matter what I'm doing. So she just did Hama Shuriken, I'm going to go ahead, Earth Blunt attack. And then we're just going to go ham on Earth damage, which he's weak to fire damage, so I'm actually going to sub Mighty in here. Although she can come in too, because we're probably going to need that deeps. Actually, maybe not. Well, anyways, I'm going to show you guys what she can do. And then I'll kick out her for Mighty. And we're just going to go to 10. Oh yeah, another thing I could actually show you guys. So when you... I forgot to tell you guys that. When you sub a character in, they usually have some type of buff or debuff, or in some cases an attack that they do. You can click status here, and you can click on any character and see what effects are going off on them. So like the boss, like lowers his water and his earth resistance. I'm not going to get that much earth damage off, but that's fine, because it's not super serious what I'm trying to do with earth. Water's still better. So then you just go to town here, so... And you see that deeps. And you see there the Aura Force actually helped me absorb, along with the stack of the Guardian Soul that Annabelle put up earlier. Aura Force actually helped me absorb most of that damage. It's pretty nuts how stupid Mario can be for absorption. And we're pretty much just going to do the same thing. Now Crush Axe, that's actually not going to be as good now because I don't have the lower resist, and only Tsubame can put that up, and I'm not going to bring her back in right now. So we'll just do Depletion Edge, which is her dot. And yeah, we're actually good for right now. And this, guys, I'm not an in-game player, so this damage is actually... It's still pretty good for where I'm at, but it's not like... There's people that do, like, millions of damage with their combos. It gets, like, super stupid how good it gets. But you see here, so she's out of mana now, so I actually want to switch her out. Nagi. So we're gonna roll her back, let her go restore a bit. And we should actually be pretty good to finish this guy. So what she did when she came in, I'll show you guys, Annabelle. She gave a little buff that increases physical resistance. So not bad. And we might as well splash sword. We got the water trio in. Probably not gonna need that. And there you have it. So if you can kill those things, you should definitely do it. In these Another dungeons. Hell, anywhere actually, but especially in these Another dungeons, because you'll get a pretty good drop. So then, let me actually show you guys in party. Oh, I can't. They don't let you look at it here. Well, sorry guys, I guess I can't. But what I can do now, since Nagi's low on mana, I could just switch out for Mariel. We lose some damage, but damage isn't really an issue in this dungeon for us. So let's go ahead and roll out. I forget if I've actually fought all the mobs here, but it looks like I have. So one other thing about these dungeons, guys, there are rare spawn parts to this dungeon, so I could potentially go in this door and get like a room that's like full of treasures or some type of theme or something. Most of the time it's going to be whatever the generic dungeon is, but sometimes you'll get really lucky. It's like finding the treasure goblin dungeon in Diablo 3 or something similar. So... And we just kind of like go after things here. Mariel's there in case things go ham. But yeah, it's like pretty awesome. Everything you'd want a JRPG to be. And for those that are wondering about like the gacha mechanics and everything, PvP, anything like that, there's no guilds, there's no PvP. To be honest, they don't even acknowledge, there's not even like friends or anything. So you're free to basically play this game at your own disposal. And literally, if you don't want to play the game that day, you could just log in, get your mail, which is going to be your Chrono Stones, which is the premium currency in the game. And then go to the shop and, well, I'll show you later, but you can purchase Chrono Stones. You go to that screen and they give you some free Chrono Stones there every day. Just to get you on the screen, of course. So, I have to whoop this guy again. Oh, I didn't even notice she was that low. Well, hopefully she makes it. I'm not going to get as much burn time this time as I did last time. Just because I'm not going to have the mana for it, but it's fine. Actually, I don't even know if regens stack, to be perfectly honest. I use ground pound because we don't have Nagi in here. Yeah, that would have been the AoE big death thing right there. But we got combined with Mariel, because she has something that makes... Oh, not her. Elemental Wall gives you type resistance 30%, and then Mariel's gives type resistance 50%. So the damage reduction between both of them can get really dumb. Not to mention the regions and everything. Anyways, what am I doing? We don't really need to heal, so I'll refresh. Swap you out for Mighty. Get the good times rolling. So Mighty, what he does there when he comes in. Oh, and you notice too, Mighty didn't get any of those buffs, so you see all that damage that it actually did to him. Good time. So you do got to be careful with your coming in, coming out sometimes. Alright, so let's do one more Hama Shuriken, and I'll just sub in. Hopefully Mighty makes it. And he didn't. There he goes. Alright, so he's unavailable for the rest of the battle. That's going to slow down my deeps, but that's fine. Which means Nagi's not as... Or not Nagi. She's not as important, unfortunately, now. So off you go. It is actually good if you have a character with a stun. I forgot to point that out. So it actually does go off on elites, and even a lot of boss mobs, to be perfectly honest. Alright. Go ahead and get the buffs up so that doesn't happen again. Alright, it's crush time. I'd like to kick her out in a second. Actually, we don't really need a heal. I gotta be careful about her mana now. Because this is gonna be a longer battle. So this is the choice you have, is because you can fight these dudes and they can wear you down. And you do have a piece of food, but you should technically save that for the boss. Whatever the boss is in the dungeon. Oh, that's weird. I thought I subbed her out. So Depletion Edge is actually really good, but unfortunately it's getting resisted a fair amount this battle. That's just the way it goes. I guess we could combo. Yeah, I'd kind of rather do that than waste any more mana. Alright, so this is how the combo works, guys. Remember how I said you want to put the same skills in every slot? So then that way you could just hit this as much as possible while the timer's going. Yeah, with Mario it's gonna be kind of weird, but oh. And there you go. Like I said, on those guys, there's people that do like 10 million damage if you go and look on the Reddit. So, me doing 47,000. Not the craziest thing ever. Alright, so Mighty's back. I need one of the healers to actually regen. So we'll keep Mariel for a bit. Alright, there's our exit. We got some more mobs to fight. So yeah, as far as my elemental teams go, my water team's pretty straight. My earth team's pretty straight, even though it's only 2 people. My wind team needs work, but having Morgana helps. I need someone who lowers wind resistance though, but Morgana with Mega Poison is actually pretty good. And then, I forget the other elemental. What is it? Fire? Yeah, I got some fire damage, but I don't think I have anyone that lowers the resistance. At least not consistently. Maybe on an enter-exit buff. Enemy has disappeared. So there you go. So now it's just a matter of get to the boss. Probably not going to fight the next elite. I technically could if I want to use like food. But I kind of don't want to. Beast of Flamatellu. I love the voice actresses in this game. So you see, I can use this as a little regen period. Oh yeah, you know what? One thing I completely forgot. All of these dungeons have a story character that you can use, and they have a chance of getting bonuses. There's a thing called Light and Dark in this game. It's a mechanic. It'll be easier to explain when I finish the dungeon to actually show you what it does. But the short version is, the more of it you have, you gotta have like a full light team and a full dark team in most cases, but then sometimes you kind of need both, which is weird. So then... But if you have that, at the end of the dungeon, you will get additional loot. And you can get light and dark from dupes. Dupes of characters. So lower tier characters are going to have more light or dark, just by osmosis, right? But then those story characters I was telling you about, sometimes they get procs depending on how hard the dungeon is. I believe it's like a 10% rate at the very hardest or something like that. So if you run their dungeon, it can be, you should always try to take the story characters, so it's actually good to work that up. I actually forgot about that when I was making this party. But oh well, it's a demonstration. Plus, to be honest, I don't even know if I have this story character. I don't have all of them yet. I'm trying to remember who would be from the past. I guess it might be, I forget her name. Fisticuffs girl. Alright, so here's the boss. Since the boss is here... Oh, maybe not. Oh yeah, okay, so when you get that, I think it procs it. Oh, weird. Oh, I'm pretty sure this is the boss. Yeah, okay. It's all you my food now. And then let me switch out who I want in at the beginning. And we'll take Annabelle. Kick out Marel. And that should be fine. You face Jaraxxus. I love how this boss is so big, they don't even picture all of them. They don't even bother. Yeah, good times. Alright, so low-key what I'm doing, I'm lowering resistances with her water resistance. She's starting off lowering slash resistance, which is pretty good. There's also like slash and blunt and that type of resistance, pierce resistance in this game. She's buffing, just so type resistance plus regen, and then Subame's lowering earth resist. I didn't think I was that strong. I know this boss has a couple phases though, but I forget if you can just straight up wreck him or not. I guess we'll see. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, there we go. Isn't he cute? Alright, we're kicking you out. Get in there, Mighty. Yeah, he's not gonna attack, so I don't really have to worry about putting up type resistance. So, let's just go. Here come the deeps. Sorry, bro. You're cool, dude. So that's how that works. And then at the end here, it'll show you guys. So remember what I said about light and dark? Here's what that means. So if I had 96 or more light, I could have got that third reward, which I actually need to look into that. I could have actually done this one. You know, whatever the extra thing was going to be. Sometimes it's like an item, sometimes it's a really cool relic. Usually it's like rare mats or something. So that's how another dungeons work. Pretty good stuff there. So far I've only unlocked 3 zones from what I'm doing. There's the past, the future, and the present. I guess is the easiest way to say it. Let's see, what else can I show you guys? Oh yeah, that thing I said earlier about purchasing chronostones. Not notices. You go to other, and then you do purchase chronostones, and right there at the top, receive 10 chronostones just by tapping. And then they give you a little story intro to one of the characters, so you can get to know them a bit better. It's kind of cool. You actually encounter all these characters that you can recruit out in the world. This game just had its year anniversary, so they added a whole couple new zones. I'll show you guys the actual content. And record here. So over in Symphony is actually where the Persona 5 collab is, and it's actually one of the better dungeons to farm. The last dungeon's one of the better ones to farm for raising your characters, because it's simultaneously pretty easy as well as rewards pretty good skill points and stuff like that. So here are all the extra episodes that they've added since the game's come out. I haven't unlocked them all, obviously, but you can see here, these are all version updates. So these are all like little mini stories that actually take a little while, a couple hours at least to complete. So pretty good stuff there. And then as far as the end game goes, guys, I'm not an in-game player, so I can't give you everything, but from what I've been told and what I've seen, there's apparently like, I know it's going to sound silly, there's these fishing quests, right? And fishing quests actually unlocks the top gear in the game, as weird as that is to say. Or at least like some of the top gear. And there are like fishing generals and fishing mega bosses or something like that. And you keep continuously fishing until you find these guys. And once you kill them, you get like these crazy like items or mats for items, something similar. So what I'm going to show you guys now, I'll show you guys one of the towns. We'll go to... Let's go to Baroki, since it's the beginning town. So you roll over here, and then you look for the armor shop, right? So what's gonna happen is all that stuff that I collected, this dude's gonna be like, "Oh, good job. Here you go." He buys it all from you. And then if you unlock something, it'll tell you you've unlocked something with that. And then once you've done that, you can actually come into your weapons or your armor. You can see what match you need to build something. And then you can just straight build it. And then you can also try it on your characters so you can see, okay, this character can use this. This character cannot use this. And they got all the different tabs for all the different weapons over here. So I got quite a bit of farming to do still to get some of that top tier stuff. Or high-end stuff, rather. And yeah, so I'm thinking... trying to think if there's any other, like, early game tips I could give you guys. I haven't shown you guys yet, but there's these ability boards. Oh yeah, there's actually a tip I can give for this. So you start up here at the top. Try to get to the skills ASAP. Don't waste your time getting like all the passive stats. So you see here, I'm just making beelines to skills. And then whatever's going to take you to the next tree, because the farther down you get in the next tree, the more stuff you can unlock. So you see that lock there? So what that is, I actually need to take Shani on her storyline quest. And once you complete the second one, that will unlock, and that will allow you to keep progressing. Every level you get an AP point. And that'll let me keep progressing, then I can go down here, and then there's more locks, so I probably have to complete more of the character stories, which means you gotta raise them to certain levels. As far as what the stats do, power, that's just your general, how hard you hit for melee. Endurance, that's how tanky you are. Luck, I believe that does crit, actually, crit chance. Speed, self-explanatory, how fast you go. Intelligence, that's for your casters. Spirit, that's going to be your magic defense. And then... I thought there was like one more, maybe not. Okay, yeah, I guess that's it. So resistances and all that. So eventually in these tabs, you're going to get to the point where you have two different paths, like you see it right there where the Endurance 5 is on the right. You see how I could have gone both ways. Well, it depends on your character. So Shani, for instance, she does, I think she's my water soldier, right? So she actually does a good amount of magic damage, even though she does physical damage as well. So I chose to, A, get her speed up as much as possible, and B, get her intelligence up as much as possible. Because I need her to go before... Mighty in my case, or whoever is my water DPS, because she's constantly doing a stacked lower of water resistance. So I need her to go as fast as possible so she can get that off, and then the person can follow up with the damage. So we can just, you know, get the water resistance up. Self-explanatory there. It's stuff like that you got to figure out. If you have like someone like Subame, you actually want to get power and speed. If you got like a healer, you want speed on them most of all, but then anything that's going to help them stay up, because once your healers go down, your team survivability goes down. And I guess we'll go do... let me go look at some banners real quick. So banners here, they're called Dreams. I haven't actually looked, because I keep hearing that everyone that you can pull right now is not that great. AS characters, it's another style. Generally, they're improvements on other characters that are already in the game. But they're also way harder to pull, so you got to be really careful if you're going to go for the AS banners. A lot of people call them whale banners. So, like this character, I have no idea on the right. I've seen the characters on the left. No idea who that is. More another style characters. So yeah, there's like a ton of another styles up. So I guess right now, other than maybe this banner, nothing worth pulling at the moment. At least for me. I got really lucky with my first 3 rolls. I haven't even rolled since. You see I'm sitting on a decent amount of farm, considering I'm still kind of mid-game. So that's how that works. In general, be looking around on the screen as you're exploring. There's little exclamation marks and treasure chests and hidden paths and all types of stuff to find in this game. You can go down wells. If you see like cracks in a wall, sometimes you can hit it and it bursts open into another opening. So be sure you're looking for that stuff. And yeah, as I play this more, I'll eventually get more knowledgeable on things, and I don't mind taking up the mantle to help you guys figure this out. And there's tons you guys could teach me too, you veteran players, so if you got any tips, definitely share them down in the comments. And if you feel like it, there's a link to my Twitch, link to my Discord. You could always come hang out, do the thing. And that's probably going to be it for me for now, guys, so... Everything in this game is super fun, guys. It's a high-quality JRPG experience. The music's awesome, the character design's awesome, the combat's awesome. You can be as casual or as hardcore as you want, basically. Like I was telling you with the fishing game and the another dungeons I just showed you farming. There's all types of insane encounters in this game that are really fun. It's just a matter of getting out there and doing it, so... Alright guys, so hopefully you enjoyed this video, and that is it for me, so I will catch you later on. Have a wonderful evening.